Well, I was asked by somebody if I could show how to replace the flasher in one of these cars, and I thought it'd be simple. I thought I'd just crawl into there and look in the fuse box and just pull it out and swap it for another one. But seeing as I've never had to change one in one of these cars, I didn't know how hard it would be to track down. I can turn the car on. I got the turn signal on. You can hear it back here once the beeping stops. But good luck trying to find it. What I ended up doing is actually ripping pretty much the whole dash out, taking the bottom part of the dash loose, and if I pull it down, I don't even know if I can get the camera in there, but there it is. Now I can't even get the camera out, but that's where it's at, and I really don't see a way to get at it from under here. Maybe my hands are just too big, but I couldn't even see it until I pulled the dash down. So that might be the way to go. So what you're going to have to do is take the dash apart, which I've shown in other videos. But basically you've got the wood trim pieces right here, and they just pull off. And then you've got this big black piece that sits right here. It's held in with screws, and remember to take the vents out. They just roll out and then pop out, and behind those there are screws in every vent, and just keep an eye out for those particular screws. And then I went ahead and I loosened up the big bolts that are here. They're 10 millimeter. They're not screws. There's one there, one here, and then one on the bottom side right there. And if you do that, you should be able to pull this down, and you'll crawl in there. Well, if I can show you, but I can't see it myself. You crawl in there and go ahead and pull that little flasher out and replace it. You can get your hand up there if you got the dash down, but it still won't be easy. Now, they must think that those things are never going to go bad, or there's another way to do it that I can't quite see. But wow, that really is a job and a half. This is a fuse box, and I noticed while I was down here it kind of had a neat little feature. You can squeeze these two together, and this is where it normally sits. But you can squeeze these together and drop it down. But maybe I just got big hands, or I'm not trying hard enough, but I can't seem to get up there that way. You might want to try that first, just to see if you can. And that's basically how you replace it. You tear apart the whole dash, or try to get your hand up in there. But that's where it is. It's basically right behind this on the upper part, which you don't want to take off. But I think I'm going to go ahead and put this dash back together now. That's how you do it if you want to try. And if your flashers aren't working, it could be that, or it also could be a bulb is out somewhere. So make sure you check that first, because if there's a bulb out, it won't necessarily flash. And also it could be the cam inside here, the flasher unit could be bad as well. But wow, that's a job and a half. Well, while I was here with my dash completely apart, I figured I'd answer another question. Somebody asked if they could replace one of these older style, or manual style, heater units for the nice ones with the display and everything. And really it doesn't look like it. You've got a much different plug on the back of this one, and it actually bolts in differently as well. As you can see here, this one's got two plugs, and they're completely different. Also, on the ones with dual climate controls and the fancy screen on them and everything, they've got an extra box down here underneath the dash, and they've got a lot of extra parts that go to it, like the dual climate controls, and it's really a much different system. So it's not a plug and play thing, I suppose. If you wanted to swap out a bunch of stuff. Anything's possible, but really I don't think it would be worth it. And the 97 and up units that are dual climate control and all that on the Park Avenues, they're completely different than either of these two, so they're not a direct swap. I figured I'd also mention, a while back somebody asked about swapping the gauge clusters here, and they were of course different than the ones without the tack on them, and they weren't just a bolt-in piece. But somebody sent me a PM saying that they had the pinouts for the speedometer and the gauges and everything, and apparently they found a way to swap them out. So I'm going to go ahead, I can't think of the name right off the top of my head, but I'm going to go ahead and find the PM, and I'm going to see if I can put his username, a link to his username in the description of this video. And if you want that pinout or have any questions, you can ask him, because I think he's done it. I know at least he has the pinout. So I guess that's all the questions I had for today. I'm not going to rip apart this dash again, so take a good look. If there's anything you want to know, you just look at it real quick. Well, there we go. Dash is all back together. I've done it so many times it's become like second nature to me. But all I needed was a 10mm socket and a 7mm nut driver. That's all I used to take it apart. Well, I hope that helps.